Welcome, welcome. I'm so excited to have you with me today, Hump Wednesday. Today, we'll be talking all about the S Corp solution, how to pay yourself and maximize your tax savings. Now, if any questions come up, again, put it in the Q&A. The chat will be enabled shortly, ideally, but I want to make sure that I answer your questions. And you're in store for a great session. We have a lot to cover. And so just get ready. Let's get into it. Awesome. Okay. So I am Chica and I am a numbers nerd. And it's so easy for me to spend hours upon hours reviewing and analyzing and creating a story out of numbers. And I didn't know this back when I was little, but it's clear to me that I chose the right profession. And so for the last 13 years, I've practiced as a certified public accountant. I currently live in California. I'm always in between the Bay Area and Oakland. And I'm lucky to have clients who live and operate their business all over the US. So when I'm not crunching numbers, I do enjoy having fun. I love lifting weights. I love hanging out at the beach. I enjoy dining at hip, fun restaurants. I'm such a fan of bottomless mimosa brunches. Okay. So that's a little bit about me. Now let's get into the agenda. So in the next 60 minutes, I'm going to share with you so much actionable knowledge. I didn't come to play. You didn't come to play. In fact, the 5 things that you're going to take away from today are the nitty gritty about the S corporation, how to pay yourself consistently, how to make timely moves. That's the key. Got to be timely. What not to do, and how to strategize to save, right? That's the big thing. Okay, so why the S Corp solution? Okay, before we get into that, let me tell you a quick background story about me. So again, I've been an entrepreneur for over a decade, and in the last few years or so, it really began to bother me how as soon as I would file a client's tax return, I'd also throw in some tips, some tax tips about, how to shave off some thousands of dollars off their taxes for the following tax year. So I might have said something like, oh, go ahead and max out your retirement contribution because that's tax deductible. Or I might have said something like, oh my gosh, you work so hard, you're making so much money. Consider hiring that assistant that you've been talking about hiring. That's going to help cut your tax bill, right? So I'll just give throwaway tips. And then the next year would roll by when it was tax season for the following year. And as I'm looking at their documents, I noticed they didn't do what I told them to do. And at first I took that super personal, but then I had to back up. I had to pause and I realized that although I was giving them valid advice, it wasn't fair to them to just tell them something so profound without laying out the actionable steps and without checking in with them, month after month or regularly and consistently, just to see that they were taking action and that they were doing it in a stress-free way, right? So I took fault in that, right? And so that's the reason now that, first of all, I'm doing this masterclass for people like you, for people like my clients who, they want the tips, but they also want the actionable step by step. That's what this is about. Okay, so why are you here? So you're here because you're a service provider. Whether you're a coach, a consultant, or creative, you love what you do and the people you serve. You're here because you currently make 6 figures or more. Your revenue is not a problem. Your business is operating steadily and your revenue grows year after year. You're here because your profits are high, which means your taxes are high, right? Unreasonably high. Each year you notice that your taxes add up to at least, 20K, 30K, 50K, maybe 70K or more. And you're ready to change that. You're ready to do something about it. Okay, so let's look at your entity structure. Okay, so 90% of businesses that are in a high profit, high tax predicament tend to be sole proprietors, independent contractors, and LLCs. So let's dig into each one. So first, the sole proprietor. This is where you work for yourself. You're the only one in your business. but you haven't set up a legal structure. Maybe you're thinking about it, but you haven't done it yet. An independent contractor, maybe you're a gig worker or you do creative work for a few different clients of yours, but you don't quite label yourself as a business owner. But nonetheless, your income is still reported on tax form 1099. And that can be true for both a sole proprietor and an LLC. You get your income mostly from 1099 work, okay? Now with an LLC, this is kind of like a sole proprietor, except now you have legal protection. Anyone who is serious about securing their assets as a business owner must form a legal structure. So kudos to you for at least being an LLC, okay? Now, regardless of which of those three that you identify as, the problem is your business is not structured to set you up for maximum tax savings. In fact, your business is structured in a way that will have you overpaying your taxes by tens of thousands of dollars year after year. Yep, that's correct. A legal structure alone does not set you up for maximum tax savings. One of the most potentially biggest disadvantages of a sole proprietor or an LLC is that you're most likely paying a higher tax bill, higher than you have to, okay? So let's change that. The solution to your high tax problem starts with the letter S. It's the S Corp solution. All right, so let me tell you about my client, Ariana. So Ariana, she's a consultant who leads initiatives to bring equality and diversity into large organizations, right? So she does important work. And before she came to me, she was on pace to pay the IRS over $50,000 in taxes last year. So she came to me, we did the math. We came up with some few different tax strategies. One of those tax strategies was to elect S status. And from all the strategies put together, we saw that we were able to save her well over $28,000. And that's just for 1 year. Think about how this change will impact Ariana's business, her lifestyle, her future for years and years to come. The same can be true for you. Are you ready for a change? If you want to receive huge tax savings like my client Ariana, raise your hand. Let me know, okay? And if the chat is working now, put it in the chat, okay? Type the word change, okay? Awesome. So let's dig more into the S Corp solution so I can get you on your way to this change. Awesome. Okay. So yeah, raise your hand. Let's get you to this change. All right. So what is an S corporation? So first of all, an S Corp corporation, it's a tax election. It's a tax election. In order to make this election, you must first be a legal entity. So it can be an LLC or a regular C corporation. And once you have that legal structure, then you can file an S election form with the IRS, right? So in short, an S Corp election is a tax election that a legal entity can make with the IRS by filing form 2553, okay? So what happens after the IRS approves that form? Well, your filing requirements change. Now your business reports its income and expenses on a different tax form called the 1120S. Your business's income and losses, deductions, and credits are then passed from the business through to you, the owner, for federal tax purposes, okay? And then you as the owner of the S Corp, you report your share of income and losses on your personal tax return, and you pay tax based on your individual income tax rate, right? So as an S Corp, your income and expenses flow to you on your personal return, and you pay taxes based on your tax rate for your personal return, okay? And I'm gonna walk you through an example shortly, okay? So you might be an LLC owner and you're listening to me right now wondering, isn't an LLC enough? What's all this ruckus about an S Corp, okay? Well, an LLC is a legal structure, right? So this legal structure will limit your liability so that your personal assets remain separate and protected in case something went wrong in your business, right? So your personal assets can be your home, your car, your investments. Those stay protected. And your business, whatever goes on in your business stays there, right? So if somebody was trying to sue your business is affected, but your personal stuff is protected, right? So kudos again, because an LLC, that limited limitation is everything. Okay, so if that's everything, then why is an S Corp election the answer? Well, remember, an S Corp is a tax election that only legal entities can make this election. Now, just because you're an LLC doesn't mean that your other option was an S Corp, if that makes sense. Like, they're not opposing options, right? In fact, they actually work together to provide you with legal protection, the LLC, and ensure that you don't miss out on massive tax savings, which is the S Corp. So if you take away anything, don't be a sole proprietor. Like, if you're serious about your business, sole proprietorship is not the answer. You want to level up to at least an LLC and get that legal protection. And then if your profits are looking mighty nice, then you want to consider the S corporation to get those massive tax savings. And I want to mention that just because you're the only owner of your business doesn't mean you're too small to elect S status, okay? It's not just available for the $1 million companies. You want to look at what your profits are and if it makes sense for you to elect S status. And we'll talk more about that, okay? So I've talked about electing S status. So you might be thinking, okay, great, elect the S status, but is it that easy? Well, the election, that's the easy part. And the IRS, as long as you do the election right, you file the form correctly, IRS will generally approve the election. However, there's a key requirement that people often get wrong. And that missing component can trip up your business so bad that companies actually go bankrupt because of doing something incorrectly, right? By missing this requirement. Now, what is that requirement? You must pay yourself. It's a payroll requirement. You, the owner of the business, as an S corporation, must draw a salary from your business. Okay? So, the payroll requirement. The owner of the S Corp is considered an employee in the business. The IRS states that the owners must pay themselves a salary because they're employees of the business, right? That's just tax law. As an S Corp, you are an employee of your business, and a reasonable salary has to be paid to the owner. So the IRS coins this term reasonable salary. But when it comes to knowing exactly just how much that is, the IRS pretty much leaves that up to you. Yeah, they're nice like that, right? But let me just give you this general rule as to what a reasonable salary is. So if you were not a business owner, but you wanted to take on a similar job with a big corporation, right? So let's say you're a graphic designer in your business, but you didn't have a business and you wanted to work as a graphic designer for like a school or something. How much would your salary be, right? So let's say it's 50,000. So because that's what that's what it would be like if you had a regular employee job, then that is considered reasonable, right? So that's just one way to figure it out, but there's other ways, okay? But I just wanted to give you that idea. Now, the salary paid is an expense to the business, right? The owner's salary is an expense to the business, therefore is going to reduce the business's profits. Now, any profits after you pay yourself a salary can be then distributed to you, the owner, okay? So this, my friends, is where the tax benefits of an S Corp begins to unveil itself. Yeah, it's in the profits, seriously, okay? Let me draw it out for you. Then, in fact, the next slide is going to be an example of a sole proprietorship versus an S Corp. In fact, sole proprietorship or an LLC versus an S Corp, okay? I love a good visual because it really truly brings clarity to everything that I've said so far. And that's why I like numbers. Numbers bring clarity. You know, there's this quote. What's that quote? It says, women lie, men lie, but numbers don't. Yeah, the numbers tell the truth. So let's look at the numbers. All right. So this is an example of how an S Corp can save you thousands of dollars in payroll. Okay. So say that you earn 120,000 in revenue, you have 20,000 in expenses. So that means your profit is 100,000. Awesome. Okay. So as an LLC, you have to pay a self-employment tax on top of your personal income tax on your profits. Okay. So in this example, your profits are 100,000 and self-employment tax is 15.3%. Self-employment tax is composed of Social Security and Medicare. And because you're a sole proprietor or an LLC, you're paying both the employee's portion and the employer's portion, right? So each portion is 7.65%. You pay both, which is the 15.3%. That's just payroll tax law, okay? So 15.3%, that gives you $14,130 in self-employment tax that the LLC owner pays, okay? So now let's say you elect S status. You still have that 100,000 profit number, but because you're an S Corp, now you have to pay yourself a reasonable salary. So of that 100K, you decide, okay, 50,000 is reasonable. So you pay yourself 50,000 in wages, and then the other 50,000 you take as a distribution, okay? So again, the employer's part of the payroll tax is gonna be the 7.65% plus federal unemployment tax. So that total is $4,259. So because the business is paying that and they're paying the 50K wages, the way we get the 45,000 in profit, we start with that 100,000 original profit minus the owner's salary of 50K minus the payroll tax that the company pays of 4,000. And that's how we get that 45,000 profit for the S Corp. Now, remember, there's also an employee share of payroll tax. So you, the employee of the business, you also have to pay 7.65% in Social Security and Medicare. And then that's the $3,825. So when it's all said and done, as an S Corp, you would have paid $8,084 in payroll tax. So you see the difference, the remarkable difference between like an LLC or sole proprietor and then an S Corp. You're saving $6,064, and that's just with $100,000 in profit, remember, okay? So this is just 1 year. So imagine 2 years, 5 years, 6 years. Imagine your profits increase year after year, the savings increase, right? So just imagine that. Now, what would you do with all the savings? Even just $6,000 for the year. Would you finally take that trip that you've been wondering about? Would you finally start contributing regularly to your retirement? Would you upgrade your car, put a down payment on a home, whatever? Like the possibilities are now available to you. You know, they say money can't buy everything, but money can buy you time, peace, flexibility, rest. And I say for that, the savings are priceless, okay? Now, from that example, you're probably thinking, oh, okay, wow, an S Corp is a little bit more complex, right? And that's true. It's more complex than an LLC, right? Because now you have the payroll requirement, both the employer and you, the employee, and there's extra tax forms that need to be filed, right? You have to file your business tax return, your personal tax return, and there's insurance. Depending on what state, you have to pay disability insurance. So there's that. However, okay, it's more complex. All you got to do is get help, right? You are in business because you enjoy the work that you do. You enjoy serving your clients. And I'm an accountant and I'm in business because I enjoy serving my clients. So hire somebody who's an accountant who can do this for you, right? It's complex, but let the accountant handle it. Do not miss out on these tax savings, okay? All right, okay? And so when it makes sense, right? When your profits are looking right, by all means, please, please, please proceed. Now, remember, everybody's situation is going to be different. And I don't want you to follow the crowd or follow whatever it is you saw on your timeline while you were scrolling at 1 in the morning. Please don't guess. Please work with a professional, okay? Um, Now, it's all about the timing. It's all about the timing. When is the right time to file that S election? Okay. First of all, you wanna ask, is the mathing? Okay. If your business isn't profitable or the business isn't generating enough profits to pay yourself a salary, then an S election might be premature. In fact, it is premature in those situations. So I don't want you to waste your money, your time, your energy, right? Because you want to get to a point where when the time is right, the savings, the tax savings will trump whatever costs of payroll, of the CPA that you hire, right? You want to get to that point where it makes sense. And so talk to someone, right? If the profits are there, you're consistently paying 20K, 30K, 50K in taxes a year as an LLC, as a sole proprietor, it's time to talk to an accountant. It's time to talk to a professional, okay? Because that way you can have all the info that you need in order to execute with confidence. From A to Z, you want an accountant on your team to handle everything, to handle the business filing, personal filing, the reporting of an S Corp, the payroll requirements that spring up month to month, right? When it comes to the IRS, you don't want to screw up on payroll. If there's anything you do wrong, don't let it be around payroll because the penalties are enough to bankrupt your business. So please don't do it alone, especially if you're thinking that you want to do S Corp election. Don't do it alone. Okay. Now, here's a quote I want to share with you from my client, Joyce. She says she's been able to save $15,000 a year for retirement. And Joyce, she didn't even believe that contributing that much to her retirement was even possible. She didn't even know she had the money to do so, right? So now she's dreaming of that luxurious life that she'll be able to live once she's retired, right? So that's Joyce. That's what she wanted to do with her extra savings. What's the first thing you do with the extra cash, right? Like, ask yourself that because this can be your reality. I don't know about you, but with me, I've been thinking of doing this yoga retreat in Brazil for the longest. And so that's what I would do. That's one of the first things I would do. And it's so beautiful to know that this is a possibility. Okay. Um, Let me see. Awesome. So, yes. So, Catherine says, very useful to know. This always confused me. There's a lot of savings. Yes, 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 yes. Um, awesome. So, I think you see what Catherine just said. So, let's keep going. So, you are a person who you're not afraid to work hard, right? We work hard. We love what we do. You enjoy your career. You love serving your clients, right? That's why we are in the business that we're in. You're not afraid to invest in yourself. In fact, you're here because you've invested in yourself. You're a person who seeks results. You're all about the results. And you're a person who's responsible. You're a person who's communicative. Okay. But sometimes you go wrong. We're humans, things happen. Maybe you decide to take a shortcut. Maybe you decide to take bad advice based on what you saw on Google, right? Maybe it's because of fear, because of social pressure, whatever the reason, those mistakes can lead to bigger issues that can really, truly cost you greatly, right? So these are some of the things I've seen that I do not want you to do. If the business is profitable enough, I don't want you to fail to elect S status, right? I don't want you to go 3 years, 5 years where you remain you remain a sole proprietor, an LLC, and you have 100K in profits, you know what I mean? Or more. I don't want you to overpay your taxes. Maybe you do file S status, but you don't keep minutes. This is a requirement of corporations. You have to keep annual minutes. Maybe you fail to keep your personal assets separate from your business. Maybe you fail to pay yourself a salary and you're an S Corp, right? Um, Maybe you fail to pay maybe you pay yourself too much as an S Corp. Remember the example we did earlier? Imagine if you paid yourself all of that 100K in profit. Imagine if you paid yourself all of that in salary. That would be a problem because now you're paying all of this Social Security and payroll tax. And so you're still paying too much tax, but just in a different way, right? There's truly a sweet spot when it comes to a reasonable salary, and your accountant can work with you to figure out that sweet spot so that you will maximize your tax savings, right? If you don't have to pay, why pay? And that's what your accountant should be able to help you with. And that's what we do with our clients, okay? Now, no more of that, no more going wrong. That stops today, okay? It's time to stop taking shortcuts. It's time to strategize to save. So, you're a person who values your time, your energy, and results. And we are the best accountants that you've been waiting for. That's why you need our Done For You Bundled Services. This is our high-level, result-oriented, transformative service that we only offer to select businesses. This is insanely valuable, all-inclusive monthly accounting and tax package that provides you with an immediate return on your investment. It is exclusive, okay? We only work with a handful of businesses each year. And we do that because we provide attention. We give the detail. We're proactive in our support of our clients. And our clients will happily and earnestly crave what we do for them, right? Like they will happily invest in this type of service because it provides that peace of mind, knowing that they can work with a trustworthy accountant all year long, okay? So what's included in Done For You Bundled Services? You get your business and personal tax preparation and filing done. You get quarterly estimated tax calculations done. You get 3 tax strategy planning sessions, including a year-end planning session done. And let me just say, I have another service where it's just a tax strategy plan. And that service is a 4-figure investment. In fact, it's $5,000. So you get 3 of these all included and Done For You services each and every year. You get monthly QuickBooks online bookkeeping. You get monthly reconciliations of your bank account and your credit cards. And there's more. You also get unlimited communication and email support. You get free access to webinars such as this one. And if you've been a client for longer than 12 months, we present you with an annual prepayment discount. You also get IRS notice responses. Should you ever receive an IRS notice, we've got you. We'll answer it on your behalf. You get 24/7 cloud access, so your own personal portal to gather, organize, and sign documents, right? Everything's secured. We don't do this old emailing documents. Nope. You have everything in your own portal. And let's say you come and work with us and we notice that, okay, your prior tax returns, things were wrong, your bookkeeping was wrong, we'll amend that for you, right? So you get all of that. Essentially, this is what busy, profitable entrepreneurs have been looking for. They want an all-in-one service where they have that trusty financial guidance. I'm talking about tax filings, the S Corp election, the legal entity formation, continued guidance on the legal structure all year long. They get tax strategy, bookkeeping, payroll, everything included, especially the ongoing support and communication from me and my team. Now, with a dedicated tax team and the tech tools built for your success, you'll be able to run your business confidently, knowing that our team has your back no matter what. You can email us anytime if you have questions on taxes, accounting, or even a question on when's the best time to hire that marketing manager that you've been obsessing over, right? Like we can help you with it all because you deserve ease and flow with your small business taxes and accounting. You deserve a supportive CPA that's on your team, that's going to empower you to save the most on your taxes. You deserve maximum tax savings, duh, right? You deserve the accounting and tax strategy that's going to maximize your tax savings. You deserve to invest in your future and in your present, right? It's not just about 20 years from now, 30 years from now when you're retired. What about today? What about the present? As we witness way too much in recent years, tomorrow isn't promised. We can make today as pleasant as possible. A lot of that lies within how you tend to the numbers in your business. Okay. Now, is this service right for you? Our Done For You bundled services is for you if you're ready to develop tax best practices. You're ready, you want to delegate the tax planning, the tax strategy, the tax return filings, the accounting. You're ready to delegate it all to an expert. You have outgrown your existing status and you want to explore tax savings, right? Maybe you've outgrown your accountant who can do the tax return, but when it comes to tax strategy, it's like a deer in headlights, right? You've outgrown that person. This is for you if your business is grossing at least 20K a month, right? Generally about 200K in revenue a year, or making profits of at least 80K. Okay. And this is for you if you're ready to build a trustworthy working relationship with a tax strategy focused CPA. Okay. Now, why do we create this? So this is our mission. We empower business owners to have longevity, to do what they love with confidence, peace of mind, and financial success, right? Why are we doing it, right? We don't make all that money to give it all away to the IRS, right? Like we need you to be successful, not just with your clients, but when it comes to money as well. And remember the story I shared with you earlier, how we were tired of giving our clients random one-off tax tips when we filed their tax returns, right? And then we would follow up a whole year later when it was the next tax season and see that they didn't even implement nothing that we told them to do. So we took responsibility, and we wanted to be more proactive with our clients because we wanted results for our clients. And so now we step in for our clients as advisor, as strategist, and as their trustworthy CPA. Okay. It's not just about a tax return. If that's all you need, we ain't for you. Okay. We wanted to offer our business clients a life-changing experience. And that's how Done For You Bundled Services was created. This is our baby. Okay. So here at OB Collective Inc., OB Collective Incorporated, we value integrity, excellence, smart money mindset, authenticity. We keep it real, fun. We're accountants and we have fun too. And transformation. Our values are aligned when it comes to our team, our clients, and how we do business. So why now? Why is now the time for bundled services? Okay. Well, for one, your business generates 6 or 7 figures annually. And in our current economic climate, you can't afford to do nothing. You can't win by taking shortcuts, okay? And this is September. We're in the last few months of the year. The time to take action is now. As an accountant, and I can speak for pretty much every accountant, when it comes to November through April, we get so engrossingly busy. And if you want to find the best, start now. September, October is your window. Otherwise, good luck, and you deserve the best. So start now. Okay. So why us? Why choose us? Well, here are just some of the advantages that we provide our clients. We're all about efficiency, right? We want to be efficient. We don't like wasting time. We want to give you increased productivity. So leave the accounting, leave the taxes to us, leave the tax research to us, leave the tax strategy to us, and do what you enjoy doing. Serve your clients, bring in the revenue, right? Do all of that, travel, and we'll handle the numbers. We're all about high-speed processing. We invest in software because we want the best. And we understand what an investment is, right? It's not an expense. It's something that is going to give you a return year after year. That's what we're all about. Our communication is top notch. I have people come to me because their accountant would take weeks, months to respond to an email, to a phone call, right? Like with us, it's 24 to 48 hours. Communication is everything in this line of business. Strong focus on accuracy, right? Like I feel like I'm detail oriented by DNA as a Virgo, as an INTJ Myers-Briggs, as a projector human design. Like I'm all about details and numbers and analysis and review and execution. Is in my blood. So I'm just taking ownership and I'm applying it to my clients. And our clients also get top-notch security. Again, like your confidentiality, that's what we're about. So everything is in a portal in a secure place. We don't do sensitive information via email. Okay. So not to mention, we do it all. You can communicate with one company, OB Collective, and we handle all your accounting and tax needs. You don't have to talk to A for bookkeeping, B for payroll, C for tax strategy, D for tax filings. Nah, we do A, B, C, D, E, F, all the way to Z. We do it all for you. Okay, so I have this case study. This is my client Wolfden. And so Wolfden, they're into motion design animation. And so they have unpredictable income. Okay. In year one, their revenue was 250,000. And then 12 months later, their revenue was 1.1 million. Okay. And of that, 450,000 was received in November. Okay. And so had everything stayed the same, they would have been looking at profits of over $700,000, which would have been a projected tax bill of $360,000. And so we're like, oh, hell no. So we went to work. So in November, when we saw that money come in, we booked a call with our client, Wolfden, and we asked them questions such as, hey, what's your goal over the next 3 months, 6 months, 12 months? What are you looking to do? Are you looking to grow? Things like that. And based on our conversation, we came up with a plan for them to execute before December 31st of that year. It was so imperative to get everything done because had it entered the following year, it would have been too late. Okay. So from our conversation and our plan, we identified additional expenses of 300,000. Because of that, they reduced their taxable income to 408,000. And so when it was all said and done, they did end up paying about 200,000 in taxes. But the results was over 164,000 saved, okay? Simply because of the nature of our work, okay? Now, how did we do it? How do we do it? It's truly because our methods are proactive, right? We take a proactive approach. It's not just about being smart, right? How many accountants are there out there, right? How many CPAs? I mean, there's not that many, especially, ones that look like me, but, it's not about the smarts. It's about being proactive. It's about having consistent engagement. It's about communicating regularly. It's about being attentive to your client and taking action and following through. Remember, I mentioned how back in the days, I would give some good tax tips, but I wouldn't follow through. And with seeing how my clients were paying all these taxes and they didn't even have to, I knew that I wasn't stepping up and being proactive. And so again, that's how Done For You Bundled Services were created. We need to take the proactive approach to how we serve our clients. Okay, so you might be asking, okay, Chica, that sounds great. That's amazing. What's the investment? Okay, so our Done For You Bundled Services starts at $2,000 a month. Now, remember, you didn't start your business to be your own accountant. You're not trying to penny pinch when it comes to saving 5 figures, 6 figures year after year, like my clients do, right? Done For You Bundled Services is everything you need in one place for one affordable monthly price. Our services are tax deductible and they end up paying for itself within 3 to 4 months of working with us. Okay. And all you have to do is apply. In fact, I'll have my assistant Lucy drop it in the Q&A. And I think, let me see, how do I do this? I hope you can see it. In fact, it's in the slide. Yeah, or it's in the Q&A, hopefully. So yeah, so go to the link. And once you apply, I'll be able to know a little bit more about your business. And once we have our call, I'll be able to give you an accurate quote, custom quote. And, we don't half-ass how we work with people. Attention to detail is so important to us. It's our DNA. We provide friendly service, we're transparent, and we're professional each time. Yeah, we might curse, but we're going to be straightforward with you. Okay. And if you're not satisfied, we don't expect you to pay. Don't keep paying us if you're not enjoying working with us. Okay. You can cancel risk-free. Cancel risk-free. It's totally okay. And that's our commitment and that's our guarantee to you. Okay. Now, I've gotten a few questions about my bundled services, and these are some of the questions that you might be thinking. So let's just address these questions now. So one question I get is, I gross over $250,000 a year, and I know this is a good fit for me. I want to start now, but I'm super busy. How much time do I need to set aside to make this work? Great question. Okay, so the first thing we want to do once you become a client is you want to get access to your files. Okay, so what we do is we have a kickoff call so we can meet your team and you can meet our team. And we'll start the onboarding process. All of that is about 2 hours of your time, okay? And we lay it all out step by step as to how to complete the onboarding process. So it's easy for you. And throughout the year, you also get quarterly tax planning meetings with me and my team. So each quarterly tax planning session is about 1.5 to 2 hours. So all in all, our clients spend about 10 to 20 hours a year on their tax and accounting. That's just a little over 1 hour per month. So it's no time at all, right? And if you were to do this all by yourself or work with like 4 different firms to do piecemeal of everything you get in one, this is only 1/10 of the time that would take, right? So think of it like that. We understand that you're busy. We're not about wasting your time. We're all about efficiency. And we only want to make sure that we meet often enough so that we can give you the help to meet your financial goals, right? Like we don't waste time. Now, another question I get is, your Done For You services includes bookkeeping. I already have bookkeeping support. Do you offer a package that doesn't include bookkeeping? So we've noticed through trial and error that our full service gets our clients the best results because everything we do is in-house, okay? It's gonna include tax strategy, tax planning, tax preparation, bookkeeping, payroll, being able to talk to everybody on the team. And by doing that, it allows us to have timely updates without having to use a third party, okay? So that's why we don't offer packages that doesn't include bookkeeping. Now, we're more than happy to take on all of your business, but we don't have packages that don't include your books. Another question, I'm excited to move forward with your Done For You bundled services. What does the investment look like? Awesome. So our all-inclusive bundle services start at $2,000 a month. Now, I will say that a lot of competitive accounting firms, they're going to charge you, 3,000, 5,000 a month, and they're going to also charge you an initial onboarding fee of upwards of 5,000 to 10,000 on top of the monthly fee. So we don't do that. We have a transparent fee structure where the price is just one price that you pay one time per month. Now, you're going to get a custom quote once you and I have our quick call so that I can learn more about your business and give you that accurate quote. Okay. Now, another question I get is, what if I'm only a sole proprietor? Do I qualify? Yes, yes, you qualify. Yes. We love working with people who are sole proprietors, independent contractors, and single member LLCs that are grossing over 200,000 in revenue a year or have profits of 80,000 or more per year. And the reason why those are the benchmark numbers for revenue and profit is because we've noticed that that's the sweet spot to be able to obtain maximum tax savings with the various tax strategy that we implement. Okay, so technically you have to be making money to save money, and so that's just the science that we understand. So, and remember that we actually handle your legal structure formation. So even though you're a sole proprietorship, we can make sure that you have the right legal structure and we can do the S Corp election filings. And remember, the fast action bonus is in place. So all you got to do is apply by Friday, midnight Pacific time. We'll also get you an EIN number with the IRS. We'll also do the business licensing with the state that you're in. And if you don't have a business bank account, we'll make sure we do that for you. We'll answer all your questions, right? We're with you every step of the way. You're not alone in this process. Okay, so last question. Can you give me the Cliff Notes on exactly what's included in your Done For You bundled services? Yes. Okay, so let's break it down into three different parts. So the first part is the tax planning and strategy. Second part is the tax compliance. So that's the tax returns, the quarterly estimated tax payments. And then the last part is the accounting, which includes the bookkeeping, payroll, financial reports. So looking at the tax planning and strategy, that's when we meet with you each quarter to ensure that we're utilizing the tax code to your advantage throughout the year. And each of those strategy sessions is valued at $5,000, but it's included in this bundle, okay? And then two, we do the tax preparation, both your personal returns and your S Corp tax returns. We take care of all of that. We make sure that you're paid in quarterly, right? We figure out the amounts and we make sure that you're paid in, you're up to par with that. And then lastly, with the bookkeeping, we're going to verify and categorize your expenses so that it's accurate and reliable. We're going to make sure to manage and run your payroll to ensure that you're getting paid a reasonable salary based on, your profits. Now, like my client Wolfden, he had unpredictable revenue, right? So sometimes you do need to adjust your salary. So we'll look at that throughout the months. Like that's just part of what we do, and we'll adjust what's needed to make sure that the reasonable amount hits that sweet spot so that you're maximizing your tax savings. We're going to reconcile your bank accounts and credit cards. We'll review your financials every month. And these financials help you make decisions in your business, right? Because now you know what's coming in, what's gone out, how much cash you have to do whatever, make that hire, get that office space that you want in. Whatever you need to do, you can have reliable numbers to make decisions. And outside of those three things, I feel like the most valuable part of this service, in fact, my clients thank me all the time, is our ongoing communication and support. Okay, the fact that we're available to answer any questions that you have and that we get back to you in a timely and personalized way. Like, I mean, if that's not peace of mind, I don't know what is. Okay, so now, there you have it. That is everything. Now, let's get you these tax savings. You know, you're an entrepreneur, you're busy, you value time, you value energy and results. The time right now is to say yes, okay? And thankfully, getting started is easy. We have a few spots open to work with a few lucky clients before the year is up. And all you have to do is apply. Go to the website that you see, and it might be in the Q&A as well. So go to the website so we can learn about your business. And literally it'll take you 5 minutes or less. You're just answering a few questions. Once you apply, I'll get it in my inbox and I'll review your application just to understand your needs and determine if we're a good fit for our service. Okay. And let me just say that you can apply knowing that we're not going to waste your time, we're not going to waste your money, because we only accept businesses that we're confident we can partner with to save them the time and the money and give them that strong return on investment. I mean, minimum, I'm talking 28K saved annually, and you saw upwards of 200K saved, less taxes paid. You know what I mean? Like that's what we work with. And so if we notice in your application that we can't get you those types of results, we're not going to waste your time. Okay. If the math ain't mathing, we gonna let you know. You know what I mean? And we're going to help you. We're going to give you some resources based on the level that you're out, right? We're here for you. We're here for your success. Now, if it is a good fit, then you and I will hop on a quick call. And that way we can talk about your business, talk about how I can help, see if Done For You Bundled Services is right for you. And on that call, you'll receive a quote, an accurate quote, and then we'll talk about the next steps to become a client. Okay, so go ahead and apply. And if you have questions after this masterclass is over, then we can talk about it during your quick call. I look forward to meeting you and learning more about your business. And thank you so much. I had so much fun. Thank you for your energy this past hour. I look forward to seeing your application in my inbox. Talk to you soon. Bye.